Hello my lovely little weasels. In today's video I will be covering Vauban and Vauban Prime, the original engineers of Warframe, and in today's video I will be covering a nuke build for you guys, and sort of a camping build as well, but nonetheless you're going to be armor stripping enemies, crowd controlling enemies, and also basically killing them with just using your abilities, and also having infinite survivability as always in the side of Steel Path. So without any further ado, for the people that don't know, let's cover the abilities. Tesla Nervos is the first ability of our beloved Vauban. Now, Vauban is able to do electricity damage with this ability, which is going to be very beneficial in the later parts of this video. Basically, you can summon 4 of them and they tether to enemies and they pulsate electricity damage. So, very nice. Then we have the second ability. Now, this is basically 4 abilities. We have different sort of abilities. We have the Tether Coil, which basically tethers to enemies. This is not going to be useful that much. We have the Flachette Orb, which does puncture damage, and this also can hit headshots. It has a 100% chance of proccing puncture. That's very, very good. It also will give you a crit multiplier of 2.0 and a critical chance of 50%. So that is very, very nice. This is, as I said, the main nuking ability. Vector Pad, I mean, this is like a boost pad, so we're not counting this basically. And Overdrive, you can use to boost your weapon's damage if you so prefer, but Flachette Orbs is going to be pretty much enough. Photon Strike is the third ability. It is basically an aerial strike, which we're going to be replacing with Pillage. Yes, Pillage is going to be one of the key abilities here, with a short duration, which I'll show in the build part of this video, where you're going to be armor stripping enemies pretty easily in 2 casts, if not, well, yeah, 2 casts, and you're going to be pretty much killing them with the Flachette Orbs. And whilst we're talking about killing enemies, the Bastille is his 4th ability. You can through this ability just by pressing the 4 key, and it will summon a dome, or I guess a circle, where enemies will be lifted off. But if you hold the ability, you're going to summon a vortex, and this is going to be very good because it is going to be jacking enemies in, where you're going to be killing them with your Flachette Orbs, and also you're going to be pillaging them, which is going to be armor stripping them, allowing the Flachette Orbs to basically kill them. Now, let's cover the actual build. First of all, we do have, as I said, one of the most important bits, Archon Stretch. This is because of Tesla Nervos doing electricity damage. It's going to give us a little bit of energy back. I know some people are already getting angry, but Prime Sure-Footed and Arcane Energize, Prime Sure-Footed, replace it with ordinary Sure-Footed or Handspring, and Arcane Energize is honestly gonna be pretty much needed here because there is no way of gaining a lot of energy even with Tesla Nervos active. But the other parts of this build, Blind Rage, Umbral Intensify for power strength, Equilibrium, this is going to be very important. I'll tell you why in just a second. This is a pretty good way of getting energy, but it's not guaranteed, so keep that in mind. Adaptation for damage reduction, of course, Fleeing Expertise, and Molt augmented in the Aura, in the Arcane slot, and in the Aura slot we have Brief Respite. Now, we do have Pillage, and you might be asking yourself, why do we have basically 2 ways, actually 3 ways sort of gaining energy, shields? Well, that is because of the survivability. Now, Pillage is, honestly, we're utilizing Pillage mostly for the armor strip. The benefit is we're going to be getting shields in return. I was thinking Terrify, but it drags enemies outwards, so that doesn't really work, but Pillage is very, very good because it is a bonus. Now, Equilibrium is here because you can gain a lot of energy and mostly health orbs from enemies with using your companion of choice, which is, in my opinion, Worm Prime, or I guess in my choice, Worm Prime. And one of the best things here is Synth Deconstruct. We have Negate, which basically acts like a pretty good version of Adaptation, but I do utilize both because Negate does, of course, activate. I do have Guardian and Medirate to heal me and also boost my shields respectively, so that is going to be very nice. The Helminth build is right there, the weapon build for Worm that I use. Now, you might be asking yourself, I do want to kill Acolytes, and yes, you can actually armor strip Acolytes with your Flachette Orbs and also the weapon of choice, which is going to be the Latron Incarnate adapter, or I guess the Latron Incarnate. In my case, it's the Wraith variant, but there's small differences. This is the build that I use, and I'll quickly show the evolutions as well that I use. But this weapon, with its evolutions, is going to be extremely good at killing enemies. If you're having a little bit of trouble with Acolytes, which can sometimes maybe appear, you can use this weapon to get yourself out. Of course, you can use any weapon that you possibly want. It is the one that I'm recommending for you guys to try out and possibly utilize the best. But the build basically summarizes to this. You basically use your abilities to regain shields, and also using Pillage to armor ship enemies. Summon your Bastille in one area, basically dragging enemies in, using Flachette Orbs and armor shipping the enemies. Flachette Orbs kill the enemies. Same goes for Acolytes. They can die actually pretty fast, especially with a good damage boost. You might be seeing that I didn't mention any Arcane or Archon shards. That is because I don't actually have any on him, because I don't think that he necessarily needs them in any sort of respect. But that is basically it. That is how they utilize this nuking build for Vauban. Of course, there are other combinations. I'll quickly brief over that I think that could be good. For example, what you can do is I'm going to be basically creating a corrosive type Vauban. I'll explain it without Tempest Barrage, for example. But here the bad thing is you don't have that extra survivability with Hilgen's Pillage, but you can armor ship enemies with green Archon shards and with enough corrosive procs. So that is another cool way of armor shipping enemies and also killing them with your Flachette Orbs. I don't necessarily think the build should change that much, but that is another option. But that's basically it. Whoever watched this, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, do leave a like, comment, and do subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys on the next one. This has been the Gaming Weasel, over and out.